Hey everybody, welcome to the Blue Collar Beer Gentleman. I'm Topher. I started this channel because I'm a fan of craft beer, but I'm on a limited budget and I wanted to demonstrate to my friends and family that it was possible to enjoy good quality beers without having to break the bank. So the beers that I review on this channel usually come in around the $2 price range, and such is the case with today's selection. I actually paid $1.99 for this 12-ounce bottle of Galaxytrippin, a seasonal release IPA from Ninkasi Brewing is out of Eugene, Oregon. This has a 7% ABV. IBUs, do we have those? 45. 45 IBUs. Typically, an American IPA comes in between 5.5 and 7.5 for the ABV. This is a 7 point, as I said, in ABV. Typically, they come in between 45 and 7, or I'm sorry, between 40 and 70 IBUs. This has 45, so a little higher on the ABV scale, a little lower on the IBU scale. You can see it has this skull here and looks like we're out in the woods. I'll read the description to you. Galaxytrippin is an homage to doing things and seeing things differently. Gaze into its rich golden hue, get lost in mind-bending swirls of galaxy hop notes like peach, passion fruit, and papaya. Marvel and be mesmerized by its smooth and velvety finish. What do you see? So there you have it. There's the take on that, and going to be using Galaxy hops, I imagine, in great quantities in this beer. Quick note about Ninkasi Brewing. Um, 8 weeks ago, I tried their Brute IPA. Gee whiz, what was the name of that beer? Now I can't remember the name of it, and I'm feeling really stupid about that. Um, hang on. It's the Dry Skies. It was the Dry Skies. I'm sorry, the Dry Skies Brute IPA. I tried that about 8 weeks ago. It was actually the final review of 2019. They wrote me and said, "Hey, that was actually more of a summer release. Hoping that it worked out well for you." Then let's see. Then prior to that, the last one was. I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. Oh, the Slayer, and I did that. I reviewed that, let's see, on February 12th, um, and they wrote and said, thanks for checking out Slayer. So the thing about Ninkasi is that they're good about writing you. I once went to a Ninkasi tasting in Olympia, Washington. Was very, very pleased with what I saw there. The distinction between Washington, where I was, and Vegas, where I am now, is that when you go to a tasting, one, you oftentimes pay for a tasting in Washington, and two, you are limited in how much you can have. But in Washington, the brewer makes more of an effort to make sure that you are trying something new or something that they only brought for this specific occasion to see how well it went over. So that's the variance there. Anyway, I like the gang from Ninkasi. Ninkasi, if you are unaware, was the goddess of brewing. Some even refer to her as the mother goddess because brewing is believed to be the first profession, even older than prostitution. So there you have it, depending upon who you ask. Quick notes about the reviewing community. Well, there's not a whole lot to be said. Zero of my friends on Untapped at the time of this recording had reviewed it. Only 687 of us on Untapped have reviewed it, giving it a cumulative score of 3.73. Beer Advocate has only 2 ratings, which is not enough for them to give a full score. However, their average score is 3.88. I myself have sampled 16 beers from Ninkasi and have a 3.6 average for the beers that I've had from them. So there's the rundown of that. Enough yapping. My God, man, almost 4 minutes worth of. Ugh, I got to do better than that next time. Sorry about that, gang. Sit here and pontificate. I'm going to tell you right now, those hops are hitting my nostrils before I've even done a beard wipe, before I've even poured it. So that's something to be said. Going to be using my stone stemmed IPA glass, one of my favorites. West Coast Brewery for both glassware and beer. Okay, so what you are seeing in the camera is, in fact, the color of the beer, and I'm loving that. That's one of the few times that the color comes through, despite the glare of the return glare of the camera itself. I'm going to describe this as medium-high carbonation. It's high, but not overly high. That head seems to be fairly resilient. Going to give this a quick beard wipe. And I am picking up a peachy hop sort of bouquet. Going to stick my schnoz directly in. And that's only further affirmed. Peach, and I am actually kind of now picking up some of the passion fruit. I don't know about the papaya though. I'm not noting that in the bouquet. That doesn't mean it's not going to come through in the flavor. I'm just not necessarily noting it in the bouquet. But I'm definitely picking up peach, passion fruit, hop aroma. So I'm going to quit yapping my flap since we're 5.5 minutes into this, and start drinking some beer. Cheers. I love an IPA with a creamy finish, and that is definitely the case with this. This has a creamy finish. I really enjoy that. I also like it, when it's on the bitter side. This is not so very bitter, but I love an IPA that finishes with creaminess. I think it's kind of extraordinary how you can have such a bitter variety also end with a creamy finish. Going to describe that as probably a medium-low mouthfeel. Not a lot of spikiness to this. For 7% ABV, there's not really much in the way of an alcohol burn either. I'm kind of surprised by that. I mean, like I said, that's at the higher end of the ABV scale. Obviously, it's not worthy of being a double IPA, but still, it is at the higher end, 7%. So I'm a little surprised by the lack of uh, of alcohol burn. Still I'm gonna stay with medium low mouthfeel. Yeah, it's not particularly spiky. Um, what I'm picking up mostly in the flavor is probably the passion fruit. I'm not really picking up much of the peach in the flavor. I am picking up the passion fruit. It's not overly hoppy. 45 IBUs on the lower range of the IBU scale for an American IPA. So that's not altogether surprising that it's not overly bitter, but it's also not overly hoppy because there's a distinction between hop bitterness and hoppiness. And I'm not really picking up a whole lot of hoppiness either. Let's see if I is there more of this to pour out? No, there is not. I did finish that off. Okay. Um, I'm going to describe that as hazy. Yeah, medium haziness. I can actually see my fingers on the other side, kind of, or at least the outline of them. So that's not overly hazy. Uh, I don't know. I guess it's pretty good. I'm going to give it a 3.75. It's not an exceptional beer. The more I think about it, though, I think I'm going to give it a 3.5. I'm sorry. This one just wasn't. This one did not knock it out of the park for me. That's for sure. Nothing wrong with it, but nothing. Nothing particularly noteworthy about it either. So there it is, though. If you're the kind who likes to try every IPA you can get your hands on, $1.99. It is worth the $1.99 that I paid for it, and I'll say that unequivocally. It is definitely worth the price. So, guys, until next time, if you like this video, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And remember, drink good beer and don't break the bank doing it. Cheers.